Welcome back to High Stakes. Today, we will be discussing the following MLB match that is happening on Wednesday, August 2nd, 2023. We will be providing our team, total and prop picks for the day. Before we get started, please remember to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our videos. If you want access to our premium picks, you can check out our Patreon page. You can find the link to our Patreon page in the description and comments section below. Boston Red Sox vs Seattle Mariners. Losers of 5 of their last 6 on the road, the Red Sox will face another uphill battle on Wednesday. For Seattle, Logan Gilbert is a former first-round draft pick who has already had a lot of success at the big league level at a very young age. He's gone 5 starts in a row without a loss, and he's held his opponents to 2 runs or fewer in 6 of his last 8 outings. In a limited sample size, current Red Sox batters are hitting just .182 lifetime against Gilbert. That includes Rafael Devers, who is 0.45. With both teams sitting just outside of a playoff spot, I'm going to trust the Mariners to pick up a win on Wednesday because Gilbert has a very high ceiling and Seattle has been playing better baseball over the past 10 games. Give me the Mariners with the money line. I like the under in this matchup. Both teams have had good pitching over the past week or so. The under has hit in 5 of the last 6 games for Boston and 3 out of 4 for Seattle. Also, both pitchers scheduled to start Wednesday's game have had good success against the opposition. Cutter Crawford made 1 start against the Mariners in 2022, tossing 5 scoreless frames, and Logan Gilbert has a 3.46 ERA in his 2 starts against Boston. And I haven't even mentioned the bullpens yet. With ERAs just a shade over 3.60, these are 2 of the top 5 bullpens in the major leagues. Boston's offense hasn't produced many home runs this season, and Seattle has had a low batting average all year. I'm viewing this as an opportunity for the under. I'm siding with the under. Philadelphia Phillies vs Miami Marlins. The Philadelphia Phillies are 58-49 overall this season. They are currently in 2nd place in the National League East Division. The Phillies are 10.5 games back of 1st place, which is held by the Braves. Philadelphia holds one of the wild card spots as they have a 1-game lead on the field. The Phillies have won 5 of their last 7 games entering Wednesday night. The Phillies have won the first 2 games against the Marlins in this 4-game series. In their last outing, the Phillies won 3-1 on Tuesday, August 1st. Philadelphia scored all 3 runs in the top of the 9th inning. Bryce Harper doubled to left to score Jake Cave. Nick Castellanos hit a homer following to add 2 runs for the Phillies and steal the win. Ranger Suarez pitched 6.1 innings and allowed 1 earned run in the start. The Phillies have won the first 2 games of the series, and they will look to continue their winning streak on Wednesday night. The Marlins will be starting Garrett, who has struggled against National League East teams this season. The Phillies, on the other hand, have been hitting well on the road recently. Miami's pitching staff has also been struggling since the All-Star break. I expect the Phillies to win this game, so take them to cover. The 2 offenses led the way each game. The Marlins have the 3rd best batting average in the league. The Phillies have hit the 7th most doubles in baseball. The 2 teams will be racking up runs on Wednesday night, especially after a subdued run marks over the past 2 games. Take the over on Wednesday. Tampa Bay Rays vs New York Yankees. According to Yahoo.com, McClanahan induced 17 swinging strikes on 86 pitches. Jose Abreu's homer in the 4th inning accounted for 2 of the 3 runs against McClanahan. He will be looking for his first win since June 16. He has set an incredibly high bar this season and has been Tampa Bay's most consistent starter, but he has struggled over his last 2 starts against the Astros and Orioles. He comes into this start against New York with a 3.00 ERA, 1.18 WHIP with a pristine 118 41st K/BB ratio. After scruffling through the beginning of July, the Rays have regained their early season form. They have allowed the fewest hits and runs in MLB. Opposing teams are hitting .227 against Rays pitching this year, the best mark in baseball. They trail the Baltimore Orioles by 1.5 games entering action Tuesday. Gerrit Cole will start for the Yankees in the final game of the series at home on Wednesday. He pitched well against Baltimore last week, but the Orioles shut out the Yankees. The Yankees' offense has been their biggest problem this season, as they rank 23rd in ops. This is unacceptable, considering that they have Giancarlo Stanton and Anthony Rizzo in the lineup. Aaron Judge is back after a long absence, and he will certainly provide a spark. The Yankees will take this game with the best pitcher in baseball on the mound. Cole has been dominant of late, posting a 2.20 ERA, 0.80 WHIP, and 36.5 kBB, while completing at least 6 innings in 5 straight games. McClanahan has been inconsistent lately, struggling against the Orioles and Astros in his last 2 starts. I trust the Yankees to win at home. The Rays will start ace lefty Shane McClanahan in the finale of this key series. According to Yahoo.com, McClanahan induced 17 swinging strikes on 86 pitches last week against the Astros, but he still allowed 3 runs and 8 hits. He comes into this start against New York with a 3.00 ERA, 1.18 WHIP with a pristine 118 41st K. BB ratio. I expect him to pitch as well as he has all year, but there are some kinks in the armor with Shane lately, as he has not been Cy Young caliber against over the last few appearances. Cole will be better, and the Yankees will come out with a close, low-scoring win. The total number has gone under in 5 of Tampa Bay's last 7 road games. Take the under. Baltimore Orioles vs Toronto Blue Jays. On Wednesday, the Baltimore Orioles, 65-41, First AL East, leaders of the American League East, play the third game of a 4-game set north of the border against the Toronto Blue Jays, 59-48, Third AL East, who are third in the division. In the opening game of the series played on Monday, Baltimore defeated Toronto 4-2. The Orioles have won 2 straight and 3 of the last 4, while Toronto has lost each of its last 2 after enjoying a 3-game winning streak. Baltimore will play without 5 pitchers as well as position players Aaron Hicks and Cedric Mullins. Toronto will play without 5 pitchers. Baltimore has won 14 of its last 20 games, and the Orioles have won 6 out of the last 7 head-to-head against Toronto. In addition, Baltimore has won each of its last 5 played on the road versus Toronto. The Blue Jays may play without Bo Bichette, who has led the team all season in batting average and is currently second in both home runs and RBI. Bichette was taken out of Monday's game versus Baltimore with a knee injury. Baltimore starting pitcher Grayson Rodriguez has pitched very well over the last 2 starts. In 12 innings, the right-hander has 6 hits and 2 runs, while striking out 10 and walking 4. Baltimore has won each of those 2 games. Toronto starter Yusei Kikuchi has also pitched well over the last 2 outings, giving up just 1 run in 11 innings. However, the Toronto southpaw has been on the mound twice this season when Toronto lost to Baltimore. Kikuchi has given up a total of 5 runs in 9 innings to Baltimore this season. Our team pick is Baltimore Orioles. Toronto remains close in both the American League East as well as the American League wild card chase. Toronto is second in team ERA at 3.76, fourth in quality starts with 50, 7th in batting average allowed at .240, and 11th in WHIP at 1.26. Chris Bassett is leading Toronto in victories with 10, and Kevin Gausman is the leader in strikeouts with 171. Yusei Kikuchi will be on the mound for Toronto on Wednesday. This season the left-hander is 8-3 with an ERA of 3.79 and 160 strikeouts. Our total pick is over. Minnesota Twins vs St. Louis Cardinals. Joe Ryan is expected to take the mound for the Twins. He went 3.2 innings, gave up 7 hits, 2 walks, 4 earned runs, and struck out 7 in a loss in his last start against the Seattle Mariners. Ryan has a record of 9-7 with a 4.06 ERA, 1.09 WHIP, and a 148 24th KBB ratio in 21 starts this season. Opposing batters are hitting .233 against Ryan. The Twins have been decent on offense this season. They are sitting around the middle of the league in runs, RBIs, SLG, and OPS. The offense has been performing better lately. Minnesota's pitching staff has been the main reason Minnesota sits atop the AL Central. As a team, they are top 5 in ERA, hits allowed, runs allowed, walks allowed, strikeouts, WHIP, and batting average against. Minnesota sits atop the AL Central but is in a tight race with the Cleveland Guardians. The Twins will likely need to win the division in order to make the playoffs because it is a tight race for a wild card spot and they would be trailing a bunch of teams if they fall out of first in the division. Despite having a down season, the Cardinals remain one of the better offenses in the league. They are top 10 or around the top 10 in the league in runs, hits, home runs, RBIs, walks, batting average, OBP, SLG, and OPS. St. Louis will take on a pitcher that has been struggling mightily recently. Joe Ryan has allowed 4 earned runs or more in 4 of his last 6 starts. Giving up the long ball has been an issue for Ryan. He has allowed at least 1 home run in 6 straight starts. Ryan allowed 2 or more home runs in 4 of his last 6 starts, which includes 1 game where he allowed a whopping 5 home runs. St. Louis will hit Ryan and score a lot of runs. The Cards will win this contest. Take the Cardinals with the money line. Joe Ryan has been struggling recently. He has allowed 4 earned runs or more in 4 of his last 6 starts. Giving up the long ball has been an issue for Ryan. He has allowed at least 1 home run in 6 straight starts. Ryan allowed 2 or more home runs in 4 of his last 6 starts, which includes 1 game where he allowed a whopping 5 home runs. St. Louis has been good on offense this season. They are top 10 or around the top 10 in the league in runs, hits, home runs, RBIs, walks, batting average, OBP, SLG, and OPS. This will be a higher scoring game and the over will hit. Take the over, 8.5 runs.